Remember, the 5th of November.
Let's make fireworks, baby!
Join us once again for the second special, with episode 106 being dedicated to Bonfire Night, or Guy Fawkes Night as some call it here in the UK. Remembrance Day will be the next special after this one, and then no more until Christmas. Anyway, back to the present. Plenty coming this week, including me being pestered by a sentient firework, more on that later, for the audience groan, and once again we give thanks to admin Nicole for fact finding for this special. Also, any foreign names, etc., that I have no doubt will butcher in the course of this episode, I must apologise. Let's start the show off with a bang with admin Nicole's Bonfire Night fact number 1. The town of Scheveningen, I'll spell that just so I don't cause offence, Scheveningen, in the Netherlands, competes with Durendorp, that is, these are real places by the way, over which city gets to build the biggest bonfire. This quirky event takes place between Christmas and New Year's Eve, with crowds gathering to look at the build-up as well as the actual firing of the bonfire, or lighting of the bonfire some people would say. On the 31st of December in 2015, Scheveningen, I can't pronounce it, sorry, built a bonfire that was over 8, I'm just going to say 8,500, there we go, cubic meters long. Sorry, Groaners. This huge structure is still one of the world's largest bonfires in terms of size. More facts will pop through the show, but let's game now with Double Down Dummies. Now remember, Groaners, this is not set to cause any offence, and we implore you, anything that happens in the course of Double Down Dummies, don't go thinking you're the TV show Jackass, or do anything stupid, especially where fireworks are concerned, and that message is going to be reinforced through this episode. So, round 1. This occurred on 1st of January 2007 in the Netherlands. A 36-year-old man by the name of Serge was killed at a firework display, but what actions led up to his untimely demise? Was it option A? He was standing near a bonfire and thought it would be a good idea to throw fireworks into the fire. The carnage that ensued caused him to be lit ablaze by gunpowder-propelled fireworks. He died of second and third degree burns. Or was it B? In his wisdom, he thought it would be reasonable to stand over an illegal professional firework and light it with an open flame. Open flames aren't suitable for these fireworks. The heat caused an instant launch. With no time to react, he was launched into the air at both the cost of his face and his life, as he was killed by the fireworks on their way up to the heavens. Or was it C? He had made his own fireworks, and upon lighting them, one blew up near his hand, taking it off. The others flew off in other directions, aside from one that launched itself into his neck, puncturing the skin. He was rushed to hospital, but didn't make it, passing away in the back of a friend's car. Go Groaners Live, give me your answers please. Those at home, press pause, answer unpause. We've a flurry of C's coming in. Any more? People are going for C's, they're going crazy for C. A B. Any more? Another B. And an A. Okay, we have a spread. A somewhat spread. Okay, Groaners, moving on. Round 2. Our second one was a near miss, that means no one died, that occurred in England in 1997. Several fools thought it'd be a good idea to burgle a warehouse and steal fireworks. But how did this idea nearly kill them all? One of the below was all caught on CCTV and witnessed as well. Was it A? One of the burglars bought a welding torch for the job to cut through the main door. Right as they cut through the door, a spark from the gas cutting torch flew out into a box of fireworks. The entire building was destroyed in a chain reaction of gunpowder, and the roof flattened their car. They escaped, leaving the tools behind, and haven't been found since. Or was it B? Not being the brightest of fellows, one burglar strapped dynamite to the side wall and detonated it. Ever heard of cause and effect? The explosion had happened because of the dynamite, blew up the building and even caused their car to explode with fiery debris. The burglars escaped and haven't been seen since. Or was it C? They pulled off their heist after getting in via the wall nearest to the car and loaded their car with stolen fireworks. Celebrating, one lit a cigarette and carelessly chucked the match away. The match landed on a box of fireworks and it didn't take long to ignite. Running away in fright, they escaped, but their car exploded, which caused the remaining fireworks in the building to also explode. They haven't been seen since. Go Groaners Live? Answers please. Those at home, you know what to do. We've got B's flying in there. Got C's flying in there as well. Any more Groaners? It seems people are going crazy for B and C. Okay. Any more? Nope. Done there. That's an explosive game of Double Down Dummies done for a couple of weeks. You'll find out later if you scored points, Groaners. We take a break now from gaming to ramp up the creepy with Admin Nicole's Creepy Corner. Your story this week is called The Death Maidens. The Death Maidens. Something that shouldn't be known, let alone spoken out loud. So why, all the way out here, far from any form of civilization, were there people who knew? The simple answer is, because like Valencia, they don't exist. The more complicated answer is because unlike Valencia, who was born with an empty hourglass, this woman never even had one. Like everyone in her generation. The reason? Being a forbidden spell used to hold onto a far worse truth. A spell of last resort. A spell that cursed an entire generation to be alone and to keep having kids so that the truth would never die. A truth that couldn't ever come out. A truth of a world before this one. One that uses the power the darkness holds that keeps it above all others. The reverse Big Bang. As the darkness was there when life began and the planets came into order, so would the darkness be there when it all ends. This is why the darkness was blessed with a reversal power. One that would allow the darkness to summon the Big Bang and reset the universe. Yet even in doing so, time would know. Kronos would have had records of it. Yet not this time. In the universe that came before this one, a group called the Death Scribes worked with death to regulate the world. There was far more harmony and peace in that world. Death was a primal, and unlike the darkness is now, in this universe death was in charge. There were no grudges, the primals were all in one place working together. No great war, no strife, just a peaceful world of love and harmony and perpetual darkness. The ones who were blessed to stand as the right hand of death were the Death Maidens. They kept order in the world and helped to guide the souls to their next life while working with troubled souls to repent on what they did in life. The Death Maidens were a valuable part of this universe, and they were an aspiration to everyone. On their left hands, they were marked with a black skull with a purple rose. A sign of death's royalty, as it were. So it would seem strange for this world to be destroyed. No war, no strife. Who wouldn't want that? Well, the simple answer is light. Just because something is light doesn't mean it's pure. Light was jealous of the endless peace that was granted to them, and of the fact that nature, who was granted a form in this universe, would choose death to be with. A jealousy that quickly corroded its heart, which then manipulated life into hating the world that they had. Life was no better though. Even life itself hated a world that was more centered on death and made it more beautiful than life. Death gave life meaning, and that was something life couldn't stand. The two primals began to scheme amongst themselves and plan and plot, and thanks to messing with a few humans to do their bidding, all was going their way. The Death Scribes, who were in charge of cataloguing all deaths, began to suspect something, so amongst themselves they came up with a plan, with one woman offering herself as a sacrifice. As expected, somehow life and light combined stolen sand from an hourglass of time and a scythe blessed by death. A poison lily blessed by darkness and nature combined, and they had what they needed. The Death Scribes knew they had to act fast, and by using the most forbidden of spells, they offered a part of them into a sacred goblet and lit a fire. A fire of black that would rage endlessly, and at its top was the woman who offered herself. She knew what she was getting into, and she was ready for it. The sky rumbled as time was running out. The ground was breaking apart. Light and life had somehow summoned the reverse Big Bang. They were going to be in charge of the rules next time around, and they were going to punish everyone. It was now or never. As the bonfire raged on, the Death Scribes chanted their most forbidden spell, one that would allow the woman to be reborn in the new world with all her memories. She had to stay hidden. She had to find the Death Maidens and bring them back together. Even if the world couldn't be as it was, they had to do what they could. Even if it would mean never existing as her hourglass and all the descendants would forever belong to the soon-to-be-forgotten universe, the woman vowed in her final breath to fix everything, to return everyone to their proper place, as it was always meant to be. When she woke up, the universe was reset. She found somewhere to hide out where she would never be found, and she waited. Still blessed by death's magic from her world, she could survive easily enough without the primals of this world finding out. She would fall in love, confess everything, have children, and this would be the cycle her generations would go through, forever isolated but not forever alone. Their memories were wiped from all the primals, death was stripped of his status, nature lost her form, and time would become forever scarred and alone and never know why. Light and life would remain on top as they always believed they should. As for the Death Maidens, their powers were locked away and reduced to collecting mere teeth for humans. No memories, no purpose, just mere tooth fairies. Powerful still, but never to the extent that they once were. Reverse Big Bangs? Darkness. We gotta talk, Nicole. Well written. Well written. I did like what you were doing there, very clever, and nice inclusion of a bonfire, especially for this episode. Flipping the show back to me now, it's my Groaners. People use fireworks to scare or harm animals. You must be an incredibly low person to injure, scare, or kill an animal with a firework. Most humans love fireworks, but many animals can be frightened by the explosions. If you suspect anyone of this, please report them. Spare a thought for animals as you enjoy your fireworks display. People who sell illegal fireworks. The authorities should crack down on this, as these types of fireworks may be manufactured or packaged unsafely, which can lead to injury or death. Anyone think it's a good idea to pour petrol on a bonfire to ignite it? Think of your safety and others around you. You've just poured a combustible fuel source around you and it'll go up like naught else. If you can't have a bonfire safely, don't have one. Simple. That's my groans whizzing across the night sky to join all the exploding fireworks. Speaking of fireworks, later on, a failed sentient mascot for Bonfire Night graces us with his groan later, with the audience groan. I think now we are due some oh lucky. Now this is serious. This occurred way back in 2020 in November in Liverpool. A group of adult yobs decided it'd be a good idea to launch rockets and bricks at the fire service car of an emergency worker. One brick went sailing through the driver's side window, showering the firefighter with glass. He was lucky to only get minor cuts, thankfully he was also wearing his helmet. The yobs were equally lucky because had things been very different, they may very well have killed him or maimed him. Please don't abuse or attack emergency service workers, and don't lure them to areas to perform an attack. It's not funny, and it certainly isn't clever. From serious, we now must ask the age-old question of why oh why. This week's why oh why cannot be underestimated. Every year around the world, people go to hospital with sparkler or bonfire or firework related injuries. It boggles the mind as to why people risk their own safety around fireworks or at displays. Acting the clown or causing injuries with fireworks? I've just got to ask, why oh why? Right then, we've had with serious bits, let's have a bit more fun with Gimme the Question. I know the Groaners live already, you at home Groaner, you're listening so you must be ready. Round 1. Chinese what? Your answer is, again, my apologies for butchering this, Bazu or Baogan. I'll spell them both. B-A-O-Z-H-U, B-A-O-G-A-N. Your questions are A. What were the surnames of the two Chinese inventors of fireworks? Now bear in mind it was in BC times Groaners, so surname could have been misspelled. B. What is the name for bamboo stalks that were thrown into a fire in China? Or C. What is the name of the traditional soup eaten before the lighting of a bonfire and fireworks in China? Go Groaners Live, answers please. Those at home, you know the score. What you got Groaners Live? Wow, a massive outpouring for B there. Oh, we also have A's coming in and C's. Okay, a spread across there Groaners. Round 2. Your answer is the Yon Shakaduma. That's Y-O-N-S-H-A-K-U-D-A-M-A. Your questions are A. What is the name of the largest firework in the world? B. What is the name given to firework display teams in Japan? Or C. What was the name of the Japanese empress who tried to ban fireworks in the 17th century? Again, Groaners Live, you know what to do. Those at home, press pause, answer unpause. Oh, we have an almost even split there. A lot of people couldn't make up their mind, and people have gone for C and A. Okay. Any more? Oh, a B. Okay. Kill that split. Round 3. Bang times 6. Your answer is happy fireworks 6 shots. Your questions are A. What is the name of the world's smallest firework cake? B. What is the name of the type of gun-propelled firework? Or C. What fireworks are known as 6 shots because each launched firework explodes 6 times at displays? Again, groaners and groaners at home, you know what to do. A is flown in there. A, okay. A, alright. Right, okay. Anybody else going for anything else? Gonna stop you in a couple of seconds. Whee! That was a very poor impression of a firework. Sorry. Think you scored more points, do you, D-Groaners? All will be revealed later in the show. For now, we have another fact from Admin Nicole with her Bonfire Night fact number 2. The largest bonfire was seen at Craigie Hill in Larne, which DUP MP Sammy Wilson described as record-breaking. The bonfire there has been among the tallest in recent years and had been reported to have reached 62 metres in height in 2022. Well, groaners, I did say later in the show we'd have an audience groan like no other, and here we have it, with the audience groan. So, I'm going to a fireworks display on 2nd of November, but earlier this week, I was very disturbed to have a visit from a sentient firework by the name of Barry Bottle Rocket. In his own words, he doesn't like being handled without care or respect. Words to live by there from Barry: always treat fireworks carefully, safely, and with respect, groaners. And again, that cannot be stressed enough. And yes, that was very brief from Barry, but I couldn't stand all the whistling and banging he was saying. However, if you want to hand in a verbal groan, if you know myself or Admin Nicole, just reach out to us verbally and we'll take care of your groan, or your why, your what the, your feedback, or your lucky stories, or simply anything else you want to put into the show, groaners, although it has to be clean. Keep it clean. And you can do all this as well by hitting up the show email at thegroanzonepod@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook groups under the Groan Zone Podcast. You can hit me up on Facebook Messenger under Mr. E. Groaner, that's Mr. E. Groaner, or Admin Nicole under Nicole Amos on Facebook Messenger as well. And you can also find us on Discord under the Groan Zone Podcast. Every Friday at 8:30 we usually record. If plans change, we will let you know. And finally, put a comment on any episode and we'll pick it up and put it in one of the future shows. And that brings the Groans to a close. However, with each podcast episode, you need luck for the games, but our next individual unfortunately ran out of luck. Yep, it's time for Oh Unlucky! Our unlucky German fella here is a prime example of what not to do in public. Deciding to take a pee in public in the middle of a thunderstorm isn't the best idea at the worst of times. He was a Christian Democratic Union Party member, so who's to say some higher power didn't decide to shuffle him off? Either way, faith or fate, unlucky for sure, although also urinating under a high voltage power line doesn't help your chances. Speaking of luck yet again, you'll need it for this week's Where the Hell Am I? Now I'm looking for the name of this city, not the country, the name of this city. I'll give you 2 clues, groaners, okay? And of course the picture, as always, will appear on Podbean. That's the only place it appears. The Podbean website where we host this podcast. Clue 1. The city in ancient times where fireworks were created. And clue 2. The city has the same name now as it did in ancient times. All will be revealed next week, groaners. Good luck. What's that burning smell? Oh no, don't panic. It's only Admin Nicole's final Bonfire Night fact for this episode. Norway celebrates the Midsummer Festival every June with massive bonfires. In Alensund, I dare say I've probably mispronounced that, a group of daredevils has taken this tradition up to the next level by building bigger bonfires every year. The summer just gone, they set a new world record by creating a bonfire that was measured at 47.4 metres, which is the world's tallest bonfire. Perhaps the most impressive part about the bonfire is how it was built. It's handmade. No machinery was used to build it, and the material mainly consists of pellets. So imagine how time consuming that is. Just before our game man says, we must name of course our zeros of the week. Well, this week's zeros are a bunch of idiots from Nottingham who in November 2023 thought it would be a good idea to be a public nuisance and set fireworks off near houses, etc. One, thankfully, didn't harm a 2-year-old. They also launched fireworks at police. The police used their powers to issue a 12-hour dispersal order, which means the idiots would have to get out the area for 12 hours. Now look, if you're part of a group like this, take a good hard look at yourself, take stock of things, and realise if anyone gets hurt, it's on you. Idiotic zeros for sure. Almost to a close for this week, Groaners, but of course we must reveal all with the important game answers. Starting with Adam and Nicole's anagram anxiety from last week. Gus Lyon was your anagram? The answer was souling. What is souling, you ask? Well, this revolves around the giving of a small round cake in exchange for prayers. The practice remained popular in Britain until around about the mid-20th century, and then trick-or-treating took effect. Give me the question. Round 1. Chinese what? Your answer was baozu or baogan. Your correct question was B. What is the name for bamboo stalks that were thrown into a fire in China? The Chinese believed that the loud bangs from these fireworks would frighten off evil spirits. Round 2. Your answer was the Yongshakaduma. Your correct question was A. What is the name of the largest firework in the world? Size? This firework weighs 420 kilograms and is about 1.5 meters tall. It has an explosion that spreads over about 1 kilometer in the sky. A single firework like this can cost up to $1,500, and it gets set off every year at the Katakai Fireworks Festival in Japan. Round 3, Bang Time 6. Your answer was Happy Fireworks 6 Shots. Your correct question was A. What is the name of the world's smallest firework cake? They are made by the company called Shogun and weigh around 50 grams each. That's not every firework weighs 50 grams, that's the whole product itself weighs 50 grams. And finally, Double Down Dummies. Round 1. If you went for B, in his wisdom, he thought it would be reasonable to stand over an illegal professional firework and light it with an open flame. Open flames are suitable for this firework. The heat caused an instant launch. With no time to react, he was launched into the air at both the cost of his face and his life, as he was killed by the fireworks on the way up to the heavens. You are right. The fireworks were meant to be used with electronic detonation, and they were also bought legally in Belgium, but shipped illegally to the Netherlands. His father said of Serge that he always carefully considered his actions. In this case, I must disagree, with all due respect. 1 point if you pick this outcome. Round 2. If you went for A, one of the burglars bought a welding torch for the job to cut through the main door. Right as it cut through the door, a spark from the gas cutting torch flew out into a box of fireworks. The entire building was destroyed in a chain reaction of gunpowder and the roof flattened their car. They escaped, leaving the tools behind and haven't been found since. They've been nicknamed as the Hole in the Wall Gang. 1 point if you pick this outcome. On that note, I'm sure someone out there somewhere scored points in Groanland. Remember, stay safe and be careful. Enjoy whatever plans you have for Bonfire Night or near it, those in the UK. Take care all. Bye bye.
Gunpowder, treason and plot.